These are the headlines at this hour. Private-public collaboration for Sugar Mass 43, Bahamas businesses urged to register for VAT, and a snowstorm kills 4 in Buffalo. Good afternoon and welcome to ZIZ's Midday Newscast for today, Wednesday, 19th November 2014. I am JD Keynes. This year's Carnival celebration will feature a great mix of privately and publicly organized events. That's the word from Carnival Committee Chairman Sylvester Anthony, who spoke on Tuesday with ZIZ News about the collaborations. He said the Carnival Committee takes an inclusive approach to the annual festival.
Well, I think it continues to improve. One of the things we in the National Carnival Committee recognize is that the carnival experience is what we would like people to have, an extremely exciting carnival experience. That means having private events that are, that are good, as well as those that are put on by Carnival. So we've worked very closely with a number of private promoters to ensure that their events will be as successful as the Carnival events itself.
St. Kitts and Nevis's National Carnival will officially begin on Friday during a parade and ceremony in the capital city of Basseterre. The Police Complaints Unit Office of the Professional Standards OPS within the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force will be headed by Acting Superintendent of Police Rosemary Iles Roberts. The leadership post for the 18-year law enforcement veteran is in keeping with her accreditation in the field of internal affairs and professional standards, having successfully completed advanced training in various territories, including Canada, St. Thomas, USVI, Trinidad and Tobago, and the state of Texas, USA. The Police Complaints Bill passed in late October in the National Assembly also clearly established the guidelines for any person to lead the OPS. Acting Superintendent Iles Roberts said that she is fully prepared for this new challenge, and she made a vow to the men and women of the police force and to the public. The review function of the OPS is expected to boost the professional conduct of police officers and improve efficiencies within the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. The recent training of 15 local officers in internal investigation and the 18 in audit and inspection will also assist in improving operational procedures. The November 3rd to 13th course was facilitated by personnel from the United States Department of Justice. Commissioner of Police Selvin G. Walwyn and Deputy Commissioner Stafford Liburd extended congratulations to Iles Roberts on her promotion and reaffirmed their commitment to continue the modern reforms of the police force. The St. Christopher Air and Seaports Authority SCASPA is reporting increases in passenger arrivals and departures at the Robert L. Bratcher International Airport in St. Kitts. That's for the month of October this year compared to the same period last year. Figures from SCASPA's Department of Finance and Statistics on Tuesday indicate that 8,085 passengers arrived in October this year compared to 7,525 passengers, an increase of 560 passengers, an increase of 7.44%. The department is also reporting an 8.40% increase in passenger departures, with 7,780 passengers leaving in October this year. That's compared to 7,177 passengers last year, an increase of 603. The number of inbound flights also increased 2% in August this year to 495 compared to 485 in October last year. Flights out also increased 1% to 495 in October this year compared to 487 last year. We move now to news on the regional scene. Prime Minister of the Bahamas, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, is standing behind a recent controversial zero-tolerance immigration policy implemented by his government, which will mostly affect the large Haitian community there. On Sunday, at breakfast hosted by his Progressive Labour Party, Christie also responded to a Florida lawmaker of Haitian descent, Daphne Campbell, who called for a boycott of the Bahamas because of the new immigration policy.
We must be relentless in protecting, but we must never lose sight of how we govern and how the world will look at us. So when this lady talks absolute nonsense about boycotting the Bahamas, absolute nonsense about boycotting the Bahamas, all she is doing is feeling resentment and response, not progressive. The same as when the Cubans say boycott. Same thing.
Still with news from Barbados, businesses in the Bahamas businesses there have until November 30th to become registered as preparation continues for the implementation of the value-added tax come January 1st. Members of the Private Sector Education Task Force reveals that an estimated 900 businesses have registered, but according to their records, some 5,000 businesses have yet to register. Task Force Committee member and Chamber of Commerce CEO Edison Sumner says thousands need to become compliant, while his colleague Andrew Rogers says the status of national insurance is also very important.
And we know that there will be a spike, we think, in the amount of registrations that are coming through over the next 2 weeks. We want to encourage businesses not to wait until the last few days to register their companies for VAT, because what we would like to see happen is for those who have begun the registration process, if they're encountering any issues with the registration or have any further concerns about VAT, we would like to know what they are so that we can advise the government appropriately of what we're hearing from the private and the business community. Doesn't matter the size of your business or the amount of revenue that you raise annually. As long as you are doing business with the government currently, or you intend to do business with the government in the future, you will be required to register for VAT.
Your national insurance has to be in order as well. And that's an important point. So you've got three issues there, very important to complete your registration: national insurance, a business license, and property tax.
In Antigua and Barbuda, a decision by cabinet to ban the importation of used cars older than 5 years has met strong condemnation from segments of the population. A press release from the Environment Division also noted that the environmental levy imposed on imported used vehicles would be raised from $4,000 to $6,000. Cabinet made the decision on September 3rd, and it came into effect from November 15, 2014. Motorsports and car racing enthusiasts are expressing extreme annoyance over the news. Local car dealers, however, have described the move by cabinet as positive, adding that the government was bringing its laws in line with other Caribbean islands, which have already adopted such a move. Internationally, Buffalo, New York is now in a state of emergency because of an epic snowstorm that has already killed 4. Here's more.
Overnight, more record-shattering lake-effect snow paralyzing parts of western New York. Buffalo now in a state of emergency as the governor deploys the National Guard for help.
This is a very serious storm.
Up to 6 feet of snow and climbing. First responders carrying patients to the hospital on foot. The snow's so deep in some places, snowmobiles can't operate.
It's probably heavier than anything that we have seen in over 40 years.
From the sky, a wall of white. On the ground,
that is the garage door.
The snow is piling so high, so fast, it comes crashing into this home.
It's horrendous. It really is. We're going to make history.
The snowfall up to 5 inches an hour, crippling emergency personnel. At a firehouse in the heart of the storm, a mother delivers her baby girl.
We could not get her to the hospital. She was born. She's safe and she's healthy.
Near Buffalo, an 81-year-old man died after first responders were unable to get him to the hospital in time. The man, one of 3 people dying from cardiac arrest Tuesday while shoveling. The residents scrambling to dig themselves out. The near whiteout conditions already causing 1 deadly car accident and leaving the Niagara University women's basketball team stranded along the I-90 corridor. The team finally rescued nearly 24 hours later.
More than 600 million Indians don't have access to toilets and are forced to use open spaces to relieve themselves. On what is World Toilet Day, their right to adequate facilities is high on the political agenda. Al Jazeera's Nidhi Dutt reports from New Delhi.
A call for change that many here hope will reverberate across India. Hundreds of millions of people need access to clean and safe toilet facilities. The new Indian government says providing toilets for all is one of its top priorities. Vindeshwar Pathak, often described as India's first toilet activist, says it's an ambitious target.
Only crucial point is to train 50,000 boys and girls who can go house to house, motivate, educate, get the toilets built and follow up them.
From rural to urban areas, having to go to the toilet in public is a daily humiliation suffered by many millions of Indians. But according to some activists, it's important to remember that India isn't the only country struggling with the idea that sanitation is a basic human right and not a privilege.
Toilet in Afghanistan is not good, and estimated 17% in people of Afghanistan use in outside for toilet. We don't have any special toilets in family, in school, in everywhere.
Community groups, individuals and the government are trying to unite to deal with what is commonly described as India's sanitation crisis. From gender equality and the safety of women and girls to the improved health and earning potential of the country's poorest people, the Indian government is well aware of the benefits of building and maintaining millions of toilets. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says sanitation is an important indication of good governance. But as his first few months in office have shown, it takes more than political promises to fix some of India's biggest challenges. Nidhi, Al Jazeera, New Delhi.
In the weather for today, the temperature will reach a high of 27 degrees Celsius, with winds coming out the east at 12 to 21 miles per hour and reaching up to 25 miles per hour over open waters, with higher gusts in showers. Rough with waves of 1.8 to 2.4 meters or 6 to 8 feet. A small craft warning remains in effect for rough and choppy seas and gusty winds. Sea bathers should also exercise caution. And that brings us to the end of ZIZ's lunchtime news presentation. Join us at 6:30 on radio and 7 p.m. on ZIZ Channel 5 when we have the details to these stories and more in our major news package. I have been your presenter, JD Keynes. Have a great afternoon.